man, am I excited to talk to Dianna here.
Wow, that is overly exuberant there. What just happened? What just happened that I wasn't listening to and did not hear?
She shamed me before we joined here because I don't have enough energy when she joins normally, so I wanted to make sure I fixed that.
Well, she's going to be excited because she is sitting next to the #1 football podcast host in American football. 3 of the last 4 years, God Bless Football has arrived. Dianna, it has been lovely to watch the two of you, maximum Stugotz, and watch you two in the wild. Tell me about schmoozing out there on Radio Row. We've been watching you, and it's been delightful.
Yeah, we've actually scared people away from our conversations over here. I've been spending the last 20 minutes catching up with Stu. There's no conversation about football or family. I've just been complaining to him for the last 20 minutes. So he's trying to help me here feel better about my space here on Radio Row.
She's been complaining about her set, Dan. She is not happy with her location here on Radio Row, and location is everything here on Radio Row. Super Bowl week. I have done a lay of the land. I know where everyone is situated. Dianna is not happy, but this is what Radio Row is all about. Right before she talked to me, she was cornered by Doug Kazarian. I mean, how about that?
And I'm stuck talking to Doug. I look at Stu. I go, that's it. My setup is the Doug Kazarian of setups. Like, it's just,
Why are we taking out Doug?
Dianna, has Stugotz promised you that he'll get you a better spot?
That is my setup. No, so here's my thought. There's not much I can do. Like, that's my colleague, Robert Mays. He's fantastic. He's got the football podcast on The Athletic. This is not a knock on Robert. Robert had nothing to do with this. But that's going to be the Scoop City setup. It's facing the bathroom.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, I can't even grab an athlete walking by, someone trying to sell a cart, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I mean, this is just prime real estate. You can see everything.
Well, this is the #1 football podcast in the world.
I
so,
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
All the action here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have guests walk up to our set and help decorate and maybe make it a little bit more electric. I've started already. I'm just going to hold this up. Scoop City, you can come by.
Dianna, you deserve better than this. You're hustling. You're in Mobile, Alabama last week. What is happening here? Who do the complaints go to? David, you've been making faces the whole time. Are you saying you feel like Diana's spoiled or something? Why are you making faces?
I just feel like the audience does not care about the setup, and they care about what you say, and they love you, and they love your show. And for you to MF your setup, it just didn't interest me. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, what our audience cares about is salary cap talk. That's exactly what it is that they care about. And by the way, leave Greg Cody alone. Is this what happens when me and Billy Gill aren't here? Everyone teams up and goes after the great, wonderful Greg Cody. I am outraged by this.
Didn't I just compliment him, by the way?
Take
that crap back.
And David, she just said that you bring so much to the show when we're talking about the salary cap, which is something we should never be talking about.
I really appreciate that you both are here, and we're sorry to have kept you waiting.
So Stugotz is not entirely wrong, and he's especially not wrong that when Billy goes out with the stomach flu and Stugotz disappears, I'm not joking, in the last break, he will tell you, Greg Cody will, I held him to my bosom gently and told him, you know what, you've taken an unfair beating the last 2 hours because Billy and Stugotz are not here, and nobody is paying attention to where Greg Cody needs his feelings supported. And I held him to my bosom.
Yeah, awkward.
And he forgave me because I explained to him, but however, the last 2 hours have been really good. They've been a bullying. They've been unfair. David Sampson piled on. Not good for David Sampson. Not good for Cody. But David Sampson hit him in the face twice with the microphone while interviewing him. And thank you, Stugotz, for standing up for Greg Cody, because you're right. Can you tell me about the schmoozing out there? Can you tell me about, because we were watching you guys, and basically it seems like you're being paid to just meet people you really want to talk to.
Pretty much, Dan. Listen, I flew on a bird here. Jimmy Johnson was in the seat right in front of me. He was watching that Mormon show. We had a couple of Heinegens. It was delightful.
His texts are probably so huge.
So huge. And here's what he does, Chris. He holds his phone. Jimmy's getting old, but he looks great. He had a button-down shirt. He holds the phone in his pocket on the button-down shirt.
Love that move.
Oh, it's so great.
That's called I'm not caring about anyone trying to reach me, if you're putting it up there.
Yeah. Order 2. First order, one Heineken.
You mentioned, look, we really don't need to be this invasive on his privacy there.
I think it was Miller Lite.
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, I'm just telling you what the man ordered. And listen, I have run into Ryan Leaf. I've seen Andrew Perloff. I have seen everyone, Dan.
Wait a minute.
Really picking up steam.
Wait a minute. Wait. Andrew Perloff and Ryan Leaf is not a list of everyone. Stugotz.
That's McLovin for the uninitiated.
Stugotz. Like, that is bare minimum effort on just dropping names on people you've seen. Like, you're selling us Tuesday Super Bowl week. Who's there? Perloff and Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, but how about an airplane with Jimmy Johnson?
That's
great. That's pretty exciting. And Sean Merriman in the airport. I mean,
wow. Were you kicking the back of Jimmy's chair on the bird?
I was a little bit, yeah. I told Jimmy the scariest call I make is the call I make to his house every time Dan wants him on. He laughed at that. We had a moment. He gave me a fist bump, and then he got out of there. That was it. Excellent. That was the end of Jimmy.
That's good coverage. I'm glad that we've sent everybody there in order to get all of the information on the drinking habits of others. Dianna, is this week a bombardment of stimuli for you that you enjoy, or is it stressful?
Love it. Live for this. First of all, New Orleans is the best city. They
It's
should
great.
just have the
Yep.
Super Bowl here every single year.
Yep.
It's compact, it's close, it feels just like one big party in your town. I've only been here 24 hours and I'm saying this. The food's delicious. Everyone is just happy to be here. So I just think the energy, it's because it's so early in the week and you can feel it already. I can't imagine what this is going to be by Thursday and Friday. And just the fact that we start the week with a bomb of Myles Garrett asking for a trade, that was music to my ears because it actually was a little slow. There wasn't much going on. So now that becomes the thing everyone's talking about here.
Well, walk us through what that means. Just take us through. Myles Garrett exerting this means what's going to happen?
It means that the Browns are going to have to make a really hard decision. And I don't think anyone thinks this is going to be easy. In fact, I had somebody in the league share with me yesterday that they just think this could get really messy because this isn't about a new contract in Cleveland for Myles Garrett, right? Because we've seen players do this all the time where they just want to get paid by the team that they're on. We saw it with Brandon Ayuk. We saw it with Deebo Samuel. They threaten, they stay. Lamar Jackson threatens, they stay. This is about winning for Myles Garrett. This is about him wanting to go be part of an organization that is built towards winning and getting closer to it, a situation that he doesn't feel is happening in Cleveland. And look, when you think about what he has seen from his vantage point, and he's around these guys and he knows what their process is and he knows what this future is going to look like, you can understand why he's probably not psyched about the plan that the Browns have, knowing that this probably all went off course when they gave Deshaun Watson that deal.
The NFL is a league where teams can change their fortune from one season to the next. So for him to sort of speculate that the Browns will never have a shot, that he can't win there, I think there is money at stake here. And Dianna, I just would point out to all of the great listeners here that your sources don't care where you are situated on Radio Row.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, but she cares. I mean,
David, my issue with it is no one knows where I am, who I am. This is such a saturated place, and no one even knows where I work anymore. So I wanted something with just like even an ice cream truck.
you wanted to announce yourself. You wanted to announce
did.
yourself and your new gig.
Maybe
Yes.
I should get a band with
Right.
like a marching band just around me.
But Dianna, hold on a second. Like, as someone who has admired your climb through the industry and the brave things you've done, correct me if I'm wrong because my memory has been elusive on this. Wasn't the first year setup that we had at the Super Bowl something that made us feel small compared to what we used to have when we were at the Super Bowl, Stugotz? Because I was fairly awed by what we were able to do last year, at least in part because it represented a growth that stemmed from feeling exactly the way Dianna does today, which is like, man, we used to be a bigger thing, and here we landed a little softer than I would have liked.
So the first Super Bowl we did with Meadowlark a few years back, Dan, we were at a table right in the middle of the action. That's where I like to be. That's where all the local radio stations are. I have walked through that entire area. I'm throwing books that like Frisbees at tables, and they're promoting it for me, which I love it. Hey, and they wave to me, hey, Stugotz. But now we're on the outskirts. We're on the outside looking in, which I don't particularly like, but it is beautiful. That means you've graduated to one of the biggest shows, and in my case, the biggest show, biggest football show in
So
America, in the
I'm
history
key-
of American American football.
So,
Dianna
I'm
is
the
upset.
cubicle.
She's upset because she is facing the bathrooms and the smoking area. That is not where you want to be, Super Bowl week, Radio Row. Perhaps in 2 years, Dan, she will graduate to where I've graduated to.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
great.
Right.
My view will be you smoking cigs, just taking down a couple heaters in between some of your interviews.
Yeah,
in the corner.
but Dan's saying there are steps to this.
Oh, Michael Pittman's at my step.
Oh, my.
I got a guest.
Dan, Super Bowl Radio Row.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Fitz is walking by. I mean, oh my God, what is happening? Oh, I love this place.
Dianna, I feel like a set facing a bathroom may be actually prime real estate.
I'm with you. Everyone pees.
Everybody pees. Maybe they're in there a little longer than that.
You know what?
And when they're walking out of the bathroom,
know
who
what?
do they see?
You might have gotten the primest real estate
Yes,
there is, Dianna,
correct.
because, yes, put it on the poll. Does everyone pee at Batard Show? I believe that is like anyone who comes through that facility who has to go to the bathroom. If you tell me, hey, what can you have on Radio Row? That or the field? I think I take that. I think
Wow.
I think I take the bathroom because that's where the guests will be at some point, at least in part to avoid nasty Nestor from Baltimore.
Yeah, let's do this. I know I'm not scheduled to come on this Friday because you'll have big name guests, but maybe I'll pop on for about 4 minutes and just give you an update of how my week went. The first time representing Scoop
Done.
City here on Radio Row at the bathroom. Poop City. That's what I should change my
No,
name.
yes, that's good. That's it. Poop City.
Just keep an
Yes.
eye.
Yes.
Call your show that the
Do
entire
it.
week.
Yes, change all of your graphic imaging and change it to Poop City this week from the Super Bowl.
I see the report that Sal Pal's been to the bathroom 3 times in the last hour. I want something like that.
Maybe that's the play, is to just keep track of everyone's bathroom habits and just
Yes.
give updates throughout.
Yes.
Like today, I'm interviewing Kirk Cousins and Drake May, and while I'm interviewing, stop the interview with Kirk Cousins after I ask him what the heck is he going to do next year. Be like, quick update for you here. Pat McAfee just went to the bathroom for the 4th time in the last hour. So, Kirk, tell me more about what this experience is like. Do you have any
That's
regrets
good.
that you
That's
didn't stay
good.
in Minnesota?
Yes.
Did you feel like you ever got a little too greedy?
Yeah.
Because now you're in a position where you're going to probably be in Cleveland.
Yes, Poop City is great, and I think what you also need to do is give us invasive reports from the Super Bowl of who's in there too long.
Yes.
You
Like
should
just
put a mic in there.
I mean, Golik's been in there for a half hour.
yeah, who's been in there too long, because that's an unpleasant place. David Sampson would never use that bathroom that
No,
way. There could be nothing happening in David Sampson's life that would make him use the Radio Row bathroom.
Which is why if you're Billy Gill, you got a problem. Because Billy Gill, Diana, is going to be near you at all times, like
Yeah,
8 times a day.
Yeah, he's having.
He's not feeling good, just so you know. Billy ill. Yes.
Yes, Stugotz, where are we with this? Because one of the key things Billy does while at Radio Row is rein you in. So how problematic is it going to be, or how much better is God Bless Football going to be? Because now we've got Stugotz who can be less controlled.
God bless football is never better if Billy's not here. That's just not the case. But Jenny is here, Dan, and you are familiar with Jenny. And
she's
she
an
will not let me
assassin.
walk 15 feet
Yeah.
away from this place
Yeah.
because I like to roam around Radio Row. I got to see Doggy. I got to see Diana. I got to be cornered by Doug Kazarian, and that's what this week is all about for me. But Jenny won't let me have it, and so
She's an
I don't
assassin.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jenny.
You asked me,
Yeah.
you were texting me about coming on. It wasn't
Yes.
for this. It was to come be on your podcast.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Okay, Jenny is really in charge out there. I hope
Poop
that
City has a lot of guests.
I don't know how many
Everyone's
people.
got to poop.
I don't know how many Meadowlark employees we have out there, but you guys were
lot.
listening when we were talking about Cooper Kupp. I don't know what the main storyline is after Myles Garrett. I imagine the game storylines aren't quite in play yet. So when it comes to Cooper Kupp and that, are we so now numb to the transaction that nationally a receiver who for 1 year was a record-breaking receiver unlike almost any we'd ever seen, who connects very well with Stafford, that his career with the Rams is over and it's just this overtly about money and he doesn't really want it to be over? Like, does it matter at all that he won a championship there?
Yeah, it does matter. But let's just go back to the time right before the trade deadline. I think I was actually on the show telling you about how the Rams were calling around to different teams to move him, right? And so he obviously found out about that. So he's known his time with LA was coming to an end. If they were showing that kind of interest, and look, the Rams came out and said, no, we're not dealing him. And I think it got a little messy in terms of the communication. And David, you could speak to it better than any of us about what the best process is when you're inquiring, right? I don't think they were full on shopping Cooper Kupp, but I can tell you there were 3 different teams that had conversations with the Rams about their interest in trading for him before the trade deadline. And I don't think Cooper knew of it. And I think after that moment, and if you remember right before the trade deadline, the Rams weren't great. I understood why that front office was looking to move him at the time. Obviously, the other side to this is the fact that he's been there for 7 years. He helped win them a Super Bowl. He's loved in that organization. So I think after that moment and since then and understanding the future for them, I think both sides know it's over and they both want to go in different directions despite the fact that they've had such a great time together.
Every great run comes to an end.
I understand that every great run comes to an end, but I also understand somewhere in our obsession with the transaction where it's okay to point out, oh, I understand how Cooper Kupp would be hurt by all of that. Like, yes, I know it's tons of money and I know it's business, and I also understand why he wouldn't love at the end that the organization would chew him up like that, even understanding that the organization doesn't really owe him anything other than a paycheck.
Yeah, I don't think players think that way, actually. I think that it is the exception, not the rule. I think players are very understanding. In terms of communication at the deadline, I was an executive who would communicate with my players when we were talking about them at the deadline and just tell them the truth. Yeah, of course, there are people calling on you. You're a good player. You want people to call on you in baseball.
Yeah, but he wants to remain there, does he not, Diana? Do you not understand why he'd be hurt about this? I'm not surprised that David would go maximum business on this. An employee's allowed to have human feelings.
No, I agree, but David, what about the positions you were in when you were just interested to see what that market would be, that maybe you decide not to even tell the player about it because it's just light conversations, you're just trying to get a feel. Did that ever happen? And did you think that the player would need to be told that even if it was just flirting?
Yeah, there's a lot of flirting. It's like trying to see how much your house is worth and then pretending that you're rich because your house has gone up, but you're not actually monetizing it, so you don't have the money. We would often say, hey, what would you give for Stanton? Like, how badly would you want him? And I wouldn't go to Giancarlo with conversations like that because you're having those talks every day, really, with other teams on all sorts of players.
I would assume that is kind of how it is that Luka ends up happening somewhere in there in the confusion of everything that happened there. Stugotz, what can you tell people? Because you're about to take over for the entire week. God Bless Football is celebrating itself, and football for the next 3 days in a way that I will say is gluttonous and flatulent and wonderful and award-winning. And so you're going to basically start the Super Bowl party as soon as you stop now. What are you looking forward to over the course of the week?
I am looking forward to every – first off, I'm looking forward to seeing Christopher Mad Dog Russo because really Radio Row doesn't start until Mad Dog walks in. But, Dan, we are loaded. I mean, I am telling you, I am looking forward to Justin Pugh. I am looking forward to Reggie Bush, Ed Reed, Vernon Davis, Victor Cruz. Puka Nakua is going to join us. Greg, we're going to play him your song.
Yes.
Again?
I am very excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
you remember that.
Yes.
Those are good guests.
And we have Funny Marco, of course. So.
Send him to the bathroom. Tell him to stop by my side.
Did Diana just get jealous about the GBF guests? Is that
No
what
way.
we just witnessed?
No way.
I mean, she has cousins in May, okay?
I got one of the best rookie quarterbacks coming on my show today. I got to go prep, actually.
Right, and I got Funny Marco. I mean, so.
Well, and you have Bloody Mary. You have, don't forget that if Billy Gill gets better, Bloody Mary and whatever it is you guys are doing, you guys are resuscitating Don Shula, are you not? I don't want to spoil too much here, but.
I think you've said enough. Diana, are you going to play May or May not with Drake May?
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
Is that a game? Is that a thing?
Yeah, may or may not, of course.
All
right.
do it. Thanks
Series
for
of
the
questions, may
That's
or may
a
not.
fine.
May means yes, may not means no. Just okay.
Thanks for being clear.
got it.
Chris, thanks
Yeah.
for the idea. Good contribution.
Diana, are you indeed jealous of Stugotz's guest list? No, you can't be. You must not
She's
be.
jealous of my setup, Dan. That's it. That's all.
The thing is, I understand, especially as a woman, how ugly jealous can look on you. So I'm trying to contain myself. But I'm staring over at Kay Adams' set, and it looks like a palace. Right? She's got couches. She's got a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a stylist over there. Someone's massaging her feet right now. I don't even have an outlet over there. I can't charge you. You know, so look, I got to get over this.
You got a bathroom, though.
I am going to think about David this whole day, though. It's about the quality of these interviews, what I'm sharing with the listeners. No one cares if my nails are a cool color because I had someone do it for Super Bowl week. They care about the intel. So, David, thank you for it.
Look,
I'm here for you.
I want everyone to know, okay, and I will say this publicly. I don't mind saying it. I know this is going to be so. Dianna Russini and Poop City are going to kick the ass of Adams all week long. All week. She'll have her couches and she'll get her celebrity guests and everybody will interact in a way that's fun and fine, but it won't have the information that Dianna Russini will get on Poop City. I'm willing to say that in front of everybody.
All right. Well, we will see you. You are really putting me to the test.
It will when you go on Kay Adams' show, though, right?
I've never been invited.
You're invited, trust me.
No, you can't offer that invitation. You don't have that power over Kay Adams. I don't think you realize what a rising star in the business she is. And
I do. Yeah. She's fantastic. But her producer already asked me, hey, can you get me, not me, can you get me Dianna Russini?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because you became my booker all
You're the booking agent for Diana Stu?
Look at her setup. She has no one here with her. She's by herself. Someone treat her with respect. I deserve it.
Lies on top of lies with more lies. So many lies.
So I am appreciative.
Shut up. They're always in my head.
Your mics are still hot, Stu and Diana.
Wouldn't be able to find her if she walked right past him.
Diana should have a bit of guest called urinate or defecate.
Okay,
urinate
so
or defecate.
Urinate or
That's a good-
defecate.
that's a
That
good
is
needs to go.
That is a good guest.
I'll
Good
hang
luck.
a little- What do you guys want to hear from Kirk Cousins since we're producing all my
I want
segments
Kirk Cousins on the show is what I want.
Urinate or defecate.
Yes, that we can start with urinate or defecate with Kirk Cousins, and then just ask him, "Hey, that was pretty funny the way that happened. They gave you all that money, and then your career was over after 8 games."
You can ask whether he pees in the shower.
How do you feel about this? I think this is the most fun game that you can play anywhere in sports.
Kirk or jerk?
Nope, that's a good one. Kirk or jerk. Kirk or jerk is a good one. But I want to do. Would you attend their funeral? Is what I want to do with David Sampson, and I want to see if I can play this with Dianna Russini. It's hard to play it with liars. Okay, so I don't think I should play it with Stugotz. The thing that makes it difficult is that people. David Sampson is very good at. He'll tell you the truth even if it's uncomfortable. And so when I ask you, would you attend the funeral of Glenn Geffner? What is your answer? Marlins broadcaster Glenn Geffner. How long was he in your employ as a broadcaster for the Marlins?
For many, many years, but he then went rogue against Bruce Sherman and Derek Jeter when he got fired. And so I would Zoom into Glenn Geffner's funeral, but I would not attend in person.
Wow.
So he went into the middle stage from no chance to a Zoom to attend.
Dianna Russini, do you want to play this game? Would you like
She
to
doesn't
play?
know who Glenn Geffner is.
No. I'm not going to ask her about Glenn Geffner. I'm going to ask her somebody for her, Stugotz.
Okay,
No,
all right.
Dan, I want to
Making
play this
sure.
game because I've thought about stuff like this, but I have to preface it with the answer is going to probably be yes to anyone because I'm an Italian Catholic that lives in the Northeast, and it's a hobby to attend funerals for my people. It's just like what you do. Like everyone in my family goes to everyone's wake. I'm like,
So
we
did
have
Jews, Diana,
these
but the game
people.
doesn't call for that.
I don't believe that you would. So let me ask you this question. You're saying you would go to the funeral of Jeff Darlington?
I'd speak at it.
No, you wouldn't.
Even
My
if not
best
asked.
friend.
How many?
What if there was a big story you were pursuing?
Forgive me. No, this was
I'd go cover the story. Take a selfie too.
my bad. I did not obviously know that Jeff Darlington was your best friend. That was not something I was aware of. Of
I
course,
thought it was me. Yeah.
that ends up being a bad question. David Sampson, would you attend the funeral of longtime Marlins broadcaster Craig Minervini?
Minnie in the midday.
Minnie, no. I enjoyed playing cards with him. I enjoyed him. He does a good job. No. I would not. Sorry, Craig.
I am sorry, Greg. Would you,
Craig.
David Sampson, attend the funeral of longtime Marlins broadcaster Rich Waltz?
Oh, wow.
No.
What?
No, I would not. I'm sorry that he will be dead,
Jesus.
but I will not attend it. You guys all lie during this game. It's
Well, let's
unbelievable.
see. Diana, would you attend the funeral of Adam Gase?
Yeah, that's my best friend. I'd probably speak at it. I would.
This is an
I
outrage.
saw Adam Gates.
This is
I like
the
it.
game gets ruined when you play it this way.
We're learning David's the only one that can play this game.
What
I
Dan is
can
learning is that Diana is me. That's why we get along so well.
Mike Vrabel, you'll attend his funeral?
Absolutely. He
Okay, you
said yes
stink.
to every interview.
Poop City. Go where you find Diana stinking. Poop City, over by the bathroom on Radio
If you
Row.
do something for me,
Thank
I'll
you, guys.
attend your
I
wake.
appreciate it.
Yes to all your interview
They're so
requests.
similar. They're
He's
so
a lifestyle
similar.
handler.
Stugotz and Diana, they're disturbingly similar.